Well, you are looking at the Purdue Rail Yard, a cutting-edge co-working space that is part of the largest university-affiliated business incubation network in the world. Just across the Wabash River resides another co-working studio, the Matchbox. An old garage was transformed into Lafayette's first co-working space in 2014. Since then, Matchbox has reached more than 300 members. Well, Purdue and West Lafayette think they know what it takes to keep graduates and faculty to stay and pursue careers or maybe start new businesses. It's called the Discovery Park District, a $1.2 billion, 400-acre project on the west side of campus that will feature everything from research and high-tech manufacturing facilities to housing options, retail, perhaps a convention center, walking trails. It's quite a development. The entrepreneurial ecosystem is under construction and isn't expected to be fully complete until late in the 2030s, but has the potential to be a game changer for this region and for the entire state. And for more, let's turn now to the Executive Vice President for Communications at Purdue University, Dan Hassler, and the Chief Innovation Officer of the Purdue Research Foundation, Dave Broker. Gentlemen, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
As always.
Good to be here.
We talked with President Daniels earlier in the show a bit about this, but Discovery Park. Give us, Dan, the bottom line on this major investment, $1 billion plus. What's it all about?
Well, it's all about creating collisions, right? We pride ourselves in being wildly business friendly in Indiana and business friendly and research friendly here in West Lafayette. And what we've learned over time is we are best at serving those industrial clients when we have close proximity, when we live together. So, you know, David and the crew are all about building a community that represents a collision zone really between industry and academia.
Dave Broker, your name is well known in the life sciences circles and in innovation around the state of Indiana. Just recently came to Purdue. Talk about what really intrigued you or interested you about this opportunity.
Well, Purdue's one of the top universities in the world, and known for its engineering and science, incubation, startups, commercialization of technology, and I just wanted to be a part of it. Yeah. As you mentioned, life science has sort of been my background, but what's been great about being up here at Purdue is I feel like I'm going back to school again in many respects, learning about all the innovation that takes place here on campus.
When you talk about innovation and tech transfer, talk about the opportunities that you see, and again with the resources here, physical, and then the talent that is here, what the opportunities are.
Well, when I was outside Purdue at the IBRI and starting companies and things like that, under the leadership of President Daniels and Dan and Brian Edelman and Greg Deason and the group here, I always found that Purdue, you were always able to hit the easy button to get things done, and I think that legacy is going to continue as we move forward. We're doing, the definition of insanity is to keep doing the same thing and expect different results. We want to continue to progress. We want to continue to develop and accelerate the pace of innovation here in the greater West Lafayette area.
Talk a little bit more about how you see this evolution as part of a really large R&D and innovation center.
Well, so we've made it about as easy as it can possibly be working with a public institution to engage and to get access to the intellectual property. Now it's about supporting those collisions, as I said before. Most of these good ideas here and around the world happen when people come in contact with each other. Mm-hmm. We have this wonderful luxury in Indiana of being able to spread out if we want to. Well, like a gas, when you spread out, you cool down. By creating an event and creating a spot like this where people will want to become dense, will want to be with other people, will want to interact and scrum, we expect that's going to create light. And it's going to cause people to see the IP that we're developing much more quickly and to get it where it belongs, and that's in somebody's working lab and in the marketplace.
The Convergence Center is going to be a very high profile, kind of a gateway to the project.
We really want that to be the front door, the business front door for the university. I'd like to say, if you're here for a basketball game, you know where to go. If you're a senior in high school, you know where to go to evaluate Purdue as a university or a college for you. If you're a business or a company or a venture capitalist, where do you go? You don't always know where to go. So we want to create the front door to this district, all the things that Dan mentioned. So we're planning to co-locate probably in about 30% of this building, all the Purdue functions that engage externally with companies and investors and people, innovators, and then the rest of the building would be curated by companies.
Dan Hassler, Dave Broker, thanks very much for joining us. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
All right.